Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Going to give this time to the tailback. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And here now a look at the Dolphins' offensive unit.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers under longtime head coach Mike Tomlin. They'll be led by a former national champion at Alabama. It's A.J. McCarron.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a play fake. McCarron. He's got the first down and more past midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 37-yard line. Here's Elliott. And an alley to run. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. They'll run with Elliott. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
And the play of this offensive line is going to tell a big story. And right now, if you're a fan of this team, you're loving the story that they are telling. They've already created some holes in the running game on this opening drive, and they're going to need to keep it up for these guys to have a big chance at victory.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Now, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
On 1st and 10, here's A.J. McCarron. Finds his tight end Ingram. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Working from the gun here, McCarron. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Well, look now at our starting defense. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
And I've loved watching this unit on tape because throughout this season, I've seen them do all the right things. They're about as talented a group as I've seen, and they know how to stop the run.
On 2nd down now, Humphrey. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll run on first down. Humphrey. Derwin James, an all-pro as a rookie last year, up from his safety spot to make the tackle. On second down, Humphrey. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. On third down, Humphrey. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
A 2-yard pickup.
Now here's McCarron on third, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. This game number 7 of the year for each of these two teams, and much of the NFL now at the halfway point of the year. I want to remind you, though, that Week 9 kicks off this Thursday night here on EA Sports. Halloween night, as a matter of fact. Charles will be dressed as a Velociraptor, and me, because I'm a fun sponge, I'll just be dressed up as a play-by-play guy in a suit as we together bring you the 49ers and the Cardinals from State Farm Stadium in Glendale. No gain on the play there, second down. They go play action. Bridgewater.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll try the left side. Humphrey. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
26 mark, 26 mark.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on second down. Bridgewater got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run the counter. Humphrey. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Shotgun snap for McCarron. Looking deep for Elliott. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. The catches like that, that's what the Dolphins envisioned when they took Gesicki high in the 2nd round a season ago. He did have 22 catches as a rookie, but did not find the end zone. Certainly feels more comfortable wearing number 88, his old college number, after sporting 86 as a rookie. On 1st down, Humphrey. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle. Throwing on 2nd down, Bridgewater. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. It was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That's how we do it.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Draw play. Elliott slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now McCarron. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby. A loss of 10 yards. Brings up 4th down.
Here's Jordan Berry now. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. We get a look at Sterling Shepard as he and the rest of the offense march out into place. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. He gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. Short throw to Disley. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Bridgewater to throw it. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
That's it, baby. You go
let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the Windy City of Chicago, and they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, let's head off and check out a second game, and you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you, and you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
McCarron now to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 21 yards there on third down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This is Elliott. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, it's McCarron. He completes it to Bryant. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
2 yards on the pickup.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. McCarron. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.
McCarron from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
McCarron's pass intended for Emmanuel Sanders. Incomplete.
Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Boswell's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey.
Now a hit and a loose football. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. From the 25 on 2nd down, McCarron complete to Jones. McCarron now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw out wide, complete to Sanders. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 now. McCarron, and that is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. McCarron to throw once more. Complete to Bryant. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And this is caught. It's Bryant, and it's a Steeler touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. To throw, Bridgewater. And he finds his man. That's Butler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one a first down pickup of 8.
First down, Miami.
They'll run on first down. Humphrey. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 30 on second down, Bridgewater. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. The Dolphins on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Bridgewater looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. It's hauled in by Shepard. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Bryce Butler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed. They definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7.
Next the score, Skeeters 14.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Throwing on first. Here's McCarron. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
You gonna see me in your nightmare. Shoot, go.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. He just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing is Bridgewater. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
as they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, McCarron. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
A first down carry by Elliott. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Hey, TJ. Yeah.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 40-yard line.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now Elliott. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Let's go. Let's go.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd down, Elliott. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Elliott. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So the Dolphins now down on the scoreboard. Just over 1:40 to play. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Bridgewater to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Let's go.
Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
It's our time.
Here's Bridgewater. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to get it back to a 1-score game. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. A.J. McCarron on his way back out there. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself. And that's what he's done here in this game.
Check 43.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
Ready.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Steelers, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.